What's going on, college football fans, SEC football fans, fan addict family? Listen, it is Wednesday. It is time for SEC Snap Count here on the Fan Addict Sports Network, man. We appreciate y'all coming in and joining us. Listen, here on the Fan Addict Sports Network, we talk SEC all the time. We talking football, basketball. That includes women's basketball with a focus on the South Carolina Lady Gamecocks and who's trying to stand in their way. We get it in, man. So on Wednesdays, we come in here. We like to preview the upcoming weekend in SEC football. And then on Thursdays, it's the Gamecock Takeover. You know what I'm saying? On Thursdays, it's our guy, Jeff the Stat Guy, on the Stat Line podcast, talking all things Gamecock football, followed by the Chuck and Bucket Boys, me, Stat Guy, and KB, talking South Carolina Lady Gamecocks. And then on Tuesdays, y'all see it behind me, man. It's all Georgia football all the time on Respect the Hedges with my guys. We're going to go ahead and get into these preview this week. We're going to preview Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, Texas A&M, South Carolina, Mizzou, Mississippi State, LSU, Arkansas, Ole Miss, and Florida, man, and talk about all that and more. So let's get into it after the intro.
No, I got you on this one, Coach. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Fanatic. But we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina, upstate, 864. Yeah. The FANATTIC. The Fanatic, where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see.
Shout out to DJ Brooks for the intro music, man. 4 years in, and I'm still loving the intro. DJ Brooks, one of my former players. So let's get this thing started, man. Bringing our guys. Y'all already know what it is. It's the Stat Guy. What up, Stat?
Hey, man. Look, you know it's been a rough football season. You still my boy, though. I'm still showing up, man, making me miss some Gamecock men's basketball, but it's okay. I'm still here for you, dog.
Right, that's right, man. They playing some cupcake from West Lafayette, Northern Southern or something, so it don't matter.
Little in-state matchup with Presbyterian out in Clinton.
Tomato. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We had to talk about it, man, and we got our brother from Respect the Hedges. Just my damn opinion is Shouty Parker. What's going on, Shouty?
Gentlemen, what's happening?
Hey, man, the season is closing in on us, Shouty. We ain't got 4 weeks left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that guy point. You know, I'm excited about Georgia basketball. You know, I'm thinking about going to the game versus Tech here. I think on Friday. I think I'm gonna go to that game myself. I'm excited about basketball season too, but I do have a reason still to be excited about football season too.
That's right, man. Still. Hey, man, listen, man. South Carolina, listen. What do we always say, Stat? It's always next year, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because at the beginning of the season, everybody's 0-0. You know what I'm saying?
Out into the damn hype, ruin my whole football season.
Hey, you ain't the only fan. You ain't the fan of the only team that's like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people start out with high dreams. It's a team up 85, up 385 north of y'all that's feeling the same way. They came in ranked higher than y'all. They was number 2 in the nation, I think, or something. Clemson Tigers.
Hey, couldn't happen to a nicer program.
All right. So we'll see. Was that game going to be on the CW or something like that when y'all play on rivalry week?
Man, they need to move that off of Saturday to probably like Wednesday or maybe Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, could be. Hey, but we had to talk about week 12, you know what I'm saying, in the SEC, man. We'll start out briefly and, touch on South Carolina because I know you're going to get into it tomorrow night. But, I mean, how you feeling, man? Y'all ain't won at College Station, but, hey, anything can happen, right?
New OC, going to a place you've never won. I think we've only beaten them twice all time anyway. I mean, it's just not looking like the type of matchup you're dreaming about on a Thursday night when you're thinking about Saturday. On the plus side, the game's at noon. we can get it over with, and then I can enjoy some good football.
Right. The news hey, sometimes in an upset Saturday show, it tends to favor the visiting team. You think South Carolina can do anything to slow down Texas A&M?
Yeah, I think they can briefly. I mean, you came out with a sense of urgency in a big game against Bama. You fired your OC, so when you do things like that, I mean, and Shane seems like he don't have a problem getting the team up to play. So I think they can call Texas A&M a problem just based off what they've done in the recent past. So, for a little while, I do think they can be competitive. And who knows if Lenars get the cooking and rolling, I mean, hey. And because I'm really not sold on, for some reason, we 8-9 games in, but I'm not sold on Texas A&M.
What's holding you back on Texas A&M more so their opponents they've beaten, or some of the struggles they had earlier, or what?
Well, the schedule has something to do with it, but at the same time, you can't have your cake and eat it too, because all they're doing is playing the SEC schedule. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But it just the way that they played and some of the teams they played. I don't think Notre Dame was, a great team when they beat them early in the year.
Right.
And again, I'm just used to Texas A&M being Texas A&M. They are 8-9 win team, and that's generally what they do. Granted, their coach is in his second year, and we know how teams improves in the second year on the coaches. It looked good, it smelled good. It walked like a duck, it quacked like a duck. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Coach. I'm just not sold on.
Listen,
not at the number 2 team and the best team in the conference.
Right. I think pretty much, they got South Carolina this week. They got Samford after that, and then they got Texas. So even if they were to lose to South Carolina and Texas, I think they pretty much solidified a spot in the playoffs, but maybe not the SEC championship. We'll see. I'm kind of with you. Like, I think they're a good team. But I don't think Notre Dame. I think the Notre Dame now is different than when they first started out during the year. I think we all see what LSU is not. They did put that ham on them like they should have. So those are the 2 best wins as of right now, I would say. Mizzou, I would say Mizzou is a good win. It was, I think, on the road, if I'm not mistaken, at Mizzou, but Mizzou didn't have a starting quarterback. But still, Mizzou defense was there. So, I mean, they got some decent wins. If you're a Texas A&M fan, I'm pretty sure they'll say you can say that about pretty much every team. You know what I'm saying? So I think it is what it is.
But to your point, Coach, those teams that you mentioned, aren't they all probably 8 on down in the SEC? They're not considered the top half of the conference?
No, the top half of the conference, of course, starting with Texas A&M because of record, then Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, OU, and Texas. And Vandy.
the big thing to watch for in this game Saturday is going to be the A&M defense against South Carolina's offense. You have the 12th ranked scoring defense in the SEC going up against probably the worst offense in the SEC. And so, can South Carolina get some home runs? Can they move maybe it's just maintaining drives, getting points that way, but can they score? I mean, they're averaging like just over 19 a game. I mean, so that's going to be the thing is, can they score? I think defensively, I think we can hold A&M to like 24-27, somewhere in there. But that just seems like way too much to try to overcome to still get the win. I just don't know if our offense can put up 28.
Right. I think for sure, like Shadi mentioned earlier, y'all came out and on the field outside of the scoreboard, and even some Alabama fans have said that South Carolina pretty much outplayed them for a big part of that game, but it didn't show up on the scoreboard. If that same, energy and play shows up against Texas A&M, now albeit y'all played, but y'all was on the road they came to Alabama, came to South Carolina. So if y'all could do that on the road, defense being healthy. Now, what I will say is I think it comes down to, is Lenores going to be 2024 Lenores, or is it going to be 2025 Lenores? Because 2025 Lenores out here making business decisions, don't really want to scramble to get extra yards, trying to show off an arm. But if he just said, hey, man, whatever, let's go out and play football, then I think, he got a chance. And we'll see, his mental in that.
Maybe the intern OC would help him out in terms of game planning.
Because Mike Shula has definitely been terrible. Was terrible. He ain't there no more. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, and I'll be honest with both of y'all. I hope not. Like, I don't want, like, it's bad to say, but I don't want to beat A&M because I don't want Beamer to hire Mike Fury to be our OC going forward. That's not the move. And I think you go and you beat A&M. We're gonna dog walk Furman, and then you somehow beat Clemson. Like, they're gonna hand that dude the job on a silver platter, and I don't think that's the move.
I'm not. I mean,
he ain't that guy. He ain't that guy.
Okay.
If you trying to, like, especially like,
I think it's time to move on from Lenoir. As great as he's supposed to be, I think he
right.
Lenoir is 100% going to the NFL. He's going to the league. He's a first-round draft pick. Whether he should be or not, he is a first-round draft pick. Personally, would I draft him in the first round? No, not this year. But the NFL scouts will draft him in the first round, and so he's on up out of there. And then you'll have a quarterback battle in the spring between redshirt freshman Cody Woods and incoming true freshman Landon Duckworth.
So would you see him transfer? I mean, going to the NFL before transfer?
Oh, so people say they think he's transferring. I think he goes to the NFL or he comes back to South Carolina and we give him another $4.5 million, which we probably shouldn't, but I think that's what they would do.
He can get that anywhere he want to go.
But I mean, apparently Auburn offered him $8 million last year. He's saying, I mean, but he's a South Carolina kid. I just don't see him leaving the state except to go to the NFL.
Shout out to Cuzzo getting in, LSU guy. Appreciate you getting in, Cuzzo. Say what's up. Well, you know, LSU on tap this weekend too, Cuzzo. What you think about that LSU Arkansas game? Shawty, Arkansas started out on fire with that offense from Bobby Petrino. LSU came into the preseason. We thought the offense was going to be good, but that has not been the case. It's actually been the defense. These are kind of like, you know, one of those rivalries, kind of like a Georgia-Tennessee, where it's not truly a rivalry, but they don't like each other. What you thinking this weekend? I don't know what to think, to be honest with you, dog. It's at LSU too, but it's at a 12:45. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's more pressure on LSU to win. I mean, both programs are obviously in flux with the changing of, you know, the coaches being fired. But I just think there's a little bit more pressure on LSU because they probably are favored to win. And it's also going to be, you know, a situation where it's going to show if the team is still there, that if the team is still bought into the program. That's what it's really going to be about. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure the coaching vultures have been flying around LSU the past 2 weeks for sure. So it's going to be more of an indication of which team has checked out, which team is going to play hard for the interim coach. And, you know, at the end of the day, whomever wins, I don't think wins at all. If that
right. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of like what Stat was saying about Fury. Fury's the temporary OC, but they have temporary head coaches. I don't care what they do. I don't think neither one of these temporary head coaches is going to be the coach at their respective schools. Like you said, I definitely know. I ain't got no sources in that, but logic tell me the other big time programs been all up and down, you know, Baton Rouge trying to get some of that talent because LSU got a lot of talent down there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, there's some talent in Arkansas too, and they in flux as well. You know what I'm saying? There's been rumors that the Memphis coach is going to be, you know, the new Arkansas coach, but this right here, I don't know, man. Like you said, we'll see. Maybe these players go out there and they're trying to put on the field, on game field, so they can get out there and bolster their NIL. You know what I'm saying? LSU does have, I feel like, one of the top 3 best secondaries in the nation. Like man for man, like those dudes sticky. And I think like they showed that against Alabama last weekend. They got Harold Perkins. He sometimes he good and sometimes he ain't. I don't know if they really still don't know what to do with him. You know what I'm saying? It's like they started out the year, they was sending them pressuring, creating pressure, and then he got into some coverage, and I'm like, where we at? You know what I'm saying? Like this dude need to be going after the quarterback. But they still overall got a good defense. But Taylor Green and that Arkansas offense can get rolling. We've seen that all season. They can score on people. They just can't stop nobody. So
Right.
what we might see stat is good Arkansas, a bad Arkansas defense against a bad LSU offense, and then we'll see who actually looks good because the other one is worse.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. I think this is a bad matchup all the way around for Arkansas. They can't stop anybody this year, and I'm not sure why LSU's offense hasn't been good, but they have weapons galore.
Yes.
Like they have all the weapons in the world, and so for a team that can't stop nobody, that's not a good sign. I think we could see this LSU offense roll, and then on the flip side, for Arkansas to be successful, they're going to have to rely on Braylon Russell at running back and Tylen Green's legs, because they're not going to do it through the air because, as you stated, LSU does have the best secondary in the conference. And so I think they're going to take away the passing game and force Tylen Green to beat him with his legs. And then you have the Weeks and the Harold Perkins of the world meeting him out in open space. And I know he can make guys miss, but I think everything about this game just leans big time in LSU's favor.
Yeah, I think Arkansas can hope for. LSU don't have a lot of good showings at noon when they play at home. You know, at nighttime, LSU is a little bit different, but noon games, you remember a couple of seasons ago, Tennessee went down there at noon. Now, granted, Tennessee was a lot better than this Arkansas team at the time, you know what I'm saying, and they put that thing on them. But I think, like you said, like if Tylen Green's legs can't help them, I don't think they're going to sit back. He's going to be able to sit in the pocket and just throw all around on this LSU secondary. That's just, I haven't seen anybody outside of maybe like Texas A&M got LSU real good, but also Marcel Reed's legs played a big part in that, and their running game played a big part in that, and Arkansas doesn't have that same running game.
I think Taylor will have his shots because LSU play a lot of man. They play
almost strictly.
And a guy like Taylor can get outside the pocket, hurt you with his legs, or just by time. And it ain't about how good the coverage is. It's just you know, he got the ball too long. They can't cover forever, especially if you're running man beaters. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's an opportunity one of the few opportunities that Arkansas will have to stay in this game. But I'm with you guys. I think LSU should run away with it, but you know, the head coach chewed old Nussmeier out last week. So once again, I don't know
who playing. Is it going to be the freshman Van Buren that was in the game, or is Nussmeier going to start? And again, going back to how Texas A&M was able to chop up that LSU defense, Marcel Reed carried the ball 13 times for 108 yards. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, Tylen Green going to have to be on that kind of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's going to get some passes off. He's a good passer. You know, we both liked Tylen Green since, you know, all three of us since Boise State. And he's come here, and I think he's doing better under Petrino. But, like, to rely on the arm, I don't think so. But he's going to have to run. I ain't saying he got to get 100 yards, but it's going to have to be close, you know what I'm saying? Because they running back. Like I say, their offense is good, but it's just like Stat said, they just can't stop nobody. So whoever it is, Nussmeier, Van Buren, they might look awesome this week. You know what I mean?
And then for me, probably the one bright spot for Arkansas's offense, which really came out of nowhere, has been wide receiver Omega Blake. Former South Carolina guy, South Carolina kid, couldn't catch the ball here, went to Charlotte, kind of put on last year, and now is back in the SEC and is their leading receiver and has had a really good year for him.
Mm-hmm. Now, moving on to what game messed Ole Miss up last year, it was this Florida game. Florida derailed their playoff hopes. Ole Miss knew it. It was at the Swamp, and it is hard to win at the Swamp. This year is down at the Grove, but I mean, we've seen the defense against Georgia. We've seen Florida beat Texas. Like, Florida's defense is definitely going to show up. My question is that DJ Ladway, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I don't know what we're getting out of DJ Ladway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he's going to make some incredible plays or if he's going to throw it into triple coverage or what. Because we know this Ole Miss offense, especially at home, is bona fide with Trinidad Chambliss. You know, you got the receivers, you got a running game, you got Lane Kiffin as the play caller. They in flux because they don't have a coach. And they do play a lot of man-to-man too. They mix in more zone than LSU, but they play a lot of man-to-man too. They got some good rushers though. So what you thinking for this Ole Miss Florida game? Any chance Florida not sneak up, but can derail Ole Miss again?
No, I'm wondering if I'm taking Ole Miss by 50 or by 60. I think this can get absolutely ugly. And where I thought that coming into the season,
right?
First, some Lane Kiffin get back, and that's just some typical Lane Kiffin type stuff. But after watching that Florida-Kentucky game last week, I think Florida's just a dead football team. I just don't think they have a care in the world. I think they're just going to get through the end of the season, and you got a team that's just trying to skate by to the end of the year, figure out where they're going to go in the portal, what their NFL draft grade looks like if they're on that defense, going up against a team that has national championship aspirations, and you called them last year. And I just think it's another might get ugly.
Right. So Shawty, to Stat's point, I think right after they fired Billy Napier, the next game was us, their arch rival. So they put all their eggs in the basket and came up short. And then they turn around with Kentucky and get blew out the water. Now Ole Miss is a 16.5-point favorite at home. Ole Miss covering or Florida gonna give them a test?
I think Ole Miss covers, because one thing about this is, DJ got pulled last week. These intern coaches, they don't have no loyalty. They don't have no loyalty because they're gonna be fired at the end of the year too. So
they try anything they can, right?
Right. So I don't even know if DJ gonna be the starter. Or if he starts, how short is his leash? You know what I'm saying? So to that point, they dead in the water, man. All these teams going through these transition with the coaches and stuff, being fired and things like that. These new coaches, again, like Nussmeier just got chewed out last week so it's just like they all in flux, man. It's hard to know what the product is gonna be that they put out on the field. And I think Ole Miss is humming right now. To your point, Chambliss, we've seen him all year. It's a reason why he's taking over the starting position. And most guys don't lose their job to injury, right? But obviously this is a case where this guy has just been playing lights out. And I just think, and then at the same time, I don't think he is, but it's Ole Miss auditioning for the Florida job in terms of really just beating up on them. You know what I'm saying? That's how petty he can be.
Right. Hey, Lane is petty. We definitely know that. And I'm like you. I don't think he's going anywhere. But if he were to be thinking about going, be honest with you, if they beat him down, it could be two things. It could be one, it could be say, here, this is what I can do for you. Or it could be, here, I don't want your crummy job because this is what I can do to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing. Now, just to play devil's advocate on the other side, what if Florida muster up something and beat Ole Miss? Lane, I don't care what happens on Lane, ain't no hot seat in that. But what does that say about Lane legacy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like last year, he had the top 2 offense in the nation, top 5 defense in the nation, lose to Florida. This year, we seen how they humming. Maybe not a top 5 defense or whatever, but we see how they humming and we see what Florida look like. If he lose another one, do people start looking at him like a James Franklin type?
No, I think if he drops his Florida game, I think what it does is it forces his hand to leave Ole Miss, because then that's his out for why they lost the Florida game. My bags were already packed. Like, I didn't
think about it.
They don't give me the support I need here. It's Lane Kiffin. Like,
we say he tossing the blame all around, huh?
Yeah, we've seen what Lane Kiffin did to Tennessee. We saw Lane Kiffin at Southern Cal. Like, look, man, you can put makeup on a pig all you want, but it's still a pig. The only difference is this pig can put points up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I agree with you. It just the fact that job came open, I think that point in itself is enough leverage for him to do what he needs to do at Ole Miss. And if he don't like it, he could leave. I just think, granted, Florida has, you would think the talent pool is better, and I wouldn't argue nobody with that. I get that. But I just think from a program standpoint, Ole Miss is ahead of them in terms of winning football games.
Right, over the past couple of years, not just this season. And also, we know, like, I think these days, and I know a lot of people, they go right to the coaches that's doing good. Oh, it's going, I made Lane say no. Jeff Brom just, Louisville. He played at Louisville, alma mater. He got them humming like they want to. And I don't care what nobody say. If you had a P4 program that you played at, you coaching them, and you got them like humming for a playoff spot, possibly maybe an ACC championship in that particular situation. Same thing with Brent Key at Georgia Tech.
Hey,
I think it'd take a lot more zeros than it would if you wasn't an alum of that program.
You know what, Coach? I agree with you 100%. But my only caveat to that is they only paying Brent Key $4.5 million.
So that's why I'm glad you said that. Right. Which, like I say, either yesterday or earlier today, Jeff Brom, who probably didn't want to leave anyway, uses it. His agent uses his leverage. So Louisville just upped his contract. And while, like, this is what I say when you're talking about an alum that played at the school, like for instance, somebody's like, oh, well, we can get Kirby at LSU. We're gonna pay him $17 million. Georgia may not pay him 17. Georgia may say we can give you 15.5. That $1.5 million ain't gonna make Kirby leave Athens. Like, not when you get into that right there. That's what I'm saying. It has to be a significant amount of zero. So, like with Georgia Tech, if they want to keep Brent Key, which I'm pretty sure they do, he's gonna talk them in. You know, somebody's gonna offer him.
They're waiting on, Coach.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know, it's Georgia Tech. It's a different. You know, this new territory for them. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, Tech number one in the conference, man. Y'all better go on. Get the call. You know where, Coach? Just real talk. The price ain't doing nothing, going up.
Price every time somebody fires another coach, price goes up. So you say that he at 4.5 now. Somebody say, well, we can pay you 8. Georgia Tech gonna come with a minimum of 6.5. And I don't think the 1.5. Like I say, when you're talking 1.5, maybe 2 million, like I don't think people leaving. But you start talking 5, 7, 10, different. You know, that's different money. You know, what
generational money.
Right. So I'm with you. I don't think Florida got a chance in this. Like I say, I think Florida got talent. We know that, but I just think Ole Miss, they're humming on a different level than Florida. And at this point, I think Florida players done gave up. It's like, you know, they out there because they like the sport of football. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be shocked to see a whole bunch of like newbies, whether it be, you know, sophomores that haven't played a lot or some freshmen that haven't played. I mean, you saw, like Charlie said, we did DJ Ladd where they brought in a true freshman quarterback. Just like whatever, you know what I'm saying? So we got Mizzou and Mississippi State. I think it's the first game we done talked about where there ain't a new OC, ain't no new head coach or none of that stuff. Mississippi State coming off the terrible blowout to the Dogs, and then Mizzou got that thing handed to them by Texas A&M. If you asked me this question, Shawty, 3 weeks ago, I don't know if I'd have been able to tell you who's gonna win. But I think now, it's that like
it's still close to me.
Is it because Mizzou's quarterback is out? Yeah, I got you. Because Mizzou still got the defense. They still got one of the best rushers in Hardy. Ahmad Hardy in the SEC. Maybe I don't know what the stats is, maybe even the nation. I just don't think Mississippi runs the ball and the defense ain't good enough. They started out by playing nobody and they was beating them like they was nobody, Mississippi State, but their defense statistics were better until the last 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So now they're playing against better talent, and then on the defensive side, Mizzou can definitely get after it. And Blake Shapen, I think Mississippi State's chance here is that Blake Shapen, again, I don't want him to be hurt, but for whatever reason, they play the freshman guy. The reason why is he had drives, a whole second half against Georgia, but that ain't a lot of film. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really got film on this guy. If Blake Shapen played, I don't know if Mississippi State can even stay in the game with Mizzou.
I think for me, the big thing for this, and y'all proved it last week with the Dogs, was Mississippi State can't stop the run.
Terrible.
And even more so since the quarterback went down, they are going to lean on Ahmad Hardy. Like, they are going to feed him like the cowbell he is. And that's just a horrible. I mean, he's already gone for 250 a couple times this year. I wouldn't be shocked to see him do that again. Maybe like a 250, 3 or 4 touchdowns. I think that Mississippi State's inability to stop the run, and we talk about it all the time, while Mizzou's offense is definitely taking a shock with the quarterback injury, the defense is still the defense. And if this game comes to like somewhat of a shootout, like a 31-28 or something like that, end of the day, I trust Mizzou and Drinkowitz to get the stop before I trust Mississippi State to get a stop.
Right, and Shawty, like this is another reason to what Stat was saying. Of course, Drinkwitz it's a copycat league. He's gonna watch what Georgia did on the ground against Mississippi State. That's been Mississippi State all year, and then I would say Mizzou has, the second best, or right there with Oklahoma in that front seven, getting after the passer. So especially if the new guy plays, he got the legs, but they got a different pass rush than we got. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't personally think this is gonna be a good game for Mississippi State.
And then if I'm right, Mizzou got one of the best backs in the league, right? Statistically, right?
Yep, Ahmad Hardy. Yeah.
It's just all about if they're gonna be able to commit to the run. I would say this right here, man. You know, this is what I would say about Mississippi State. I think they have overachieved. I have to give a lot of credit to their coaching staff. Again, I look at the record. If you look at the score, they have been in every game. I think they lost 3 games by 6 points or 7 points, and 2 by 3 points. So they've been in every game. I think they've been at overachieving and playing at a high level. I think it's just when they played us, they finally ran into a roster that they just couldn't. It was just the roster. The difference in the roster was just night and day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They really didn't have a chance. It just kind of looked good on paper, but they didn't have a chance. And they don't really do much. They do a lot of the same things offensively. They just try to do it well. So I think that really kind of hurts them. But I say the same thing about Mizzou, in my opinion. It's like they one-dimensional offense and defensively. They great at rushing the passer.
Yeah.
And if they can get you behind the sticks, but wet team, that's wet teams. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They have great ends that kind of accentuate what they do if they can get you behind the sticks. So that's the only reason I think Mississippi State may have a chance. But I'm with you guys. I just think the difference in the rosters are a little too different. And I think Missouri probably pulls away maybe third quarter.
I got you. And to your point, I think they went into overtime with Tennessee and Texas, if I'm not mistaken, and lost. Of course, once you go to overtime, you just lose by 1 score.
They play hard, man.
They do. Shout out to Jeff Lebby. This is his second year. And like you say, last year, they didn't even win a conference game, to my knowledge. I think they won 2 overall games. And then they come into this year. Again, they beat some people, that was cupcakes, but they beat them like they was cupcakes. Then they beat Arizona State. And then it was in 3 games. And like you say, I think if I got to look back, but I think the Georgia game is the only one they had no chance in.
That's the only one. Their other losses were by 2 of them were by like 6 points, and the other 2 by 3 points.
Gotcha. So we'll see what happened. I'll be tuned in, of course. I think it's gonna be a good game, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, if to your point, if they don't get them behind the sticks, Mizzou, if the Mizzou don't get Mississippi State behind the sticks, they like to play a lot of man on that back end too, and they do have a talented runner at quarterback. I'm pretty sure the freshman is definitely going to play after scoring 3 touchdowns, albeit 2 of them didn't really matter. But he did score 3 touchdowns against Georgia, so I think he's earned some playing
spots now. They got some speed.
So yeah,
I'm sorry, Mississippi. They got
they got Anthony Evans and that number 0 dude. Like he's faster.
Now. They can take
So hey, kind of like I said in this game coming up, if that front 7 don't get home, it's going to be a problem for the secondary because, like you said, Anthony Evans, he was a little juiced up, to play against them dogs. He ain't really do a lot, but he got that speed, and we know he been their leading receiver. And actually, I think
I blame the OC.
Right. I think, to close out on that Mississippi State game, I think Anthony Evans is either leading the conference in receptions or yards. But he's been on it this year. Yeah, per catch. Yeah. I think it's receptions, if I'm not mistaken. He's been their number 1 target. You know what I'm saying? But we knew that was coming in. Now that rolls over to another good front 7, elite front 7. I think for what they do, I think they are the best front 7 in the nation. In Oklahoma, now they beat Bama like they stole something last year. And Bama, I'm pretty sure them players remember that. Now they got to go to Titletown this year. Tuscaloosa at 3:30. Stat guy, Bama can't run, and OU's great at stopping the run. But Bama can't run. They haven't been able to run on anybody, no matter who they play.
Right. And that's why I think so many people bring that up, like, oh, Bama struggles at running the ball. OU's great. Right, but Bama can't run on anybody. Like Bama. Well, Jam Miller did get loose against South Carolina, but we are an absolute black hole against the run. But I mean, that's been their weakest part of their offense. I think this game for Bama being on offense comes down to getting ahead of schedule. Don't let Brent Venables dial it up against you because you know he's going to if it's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. And then also winning the turnover battle. If Ty Simpson continues to do what he's done all year, which is just take care of the football, I think they'll put themselves in a position to win this football game in the 4th quarter.
Right, and again, it's at home. Shawty, how you feeling like about this game? You know, we follow the SEC pretty much every week. We played Bama. We, friends with some OU but guys, so we follow OU. What you thinking? OU does have a good defense, front seven being elite, and then Bama has a good scoring offense, but it's only the passing that's the really good thing.
Yeah, because I was going to say, hold on, let's be clear. Neither one of these teams can run the football.
Facts.
For sure. Neither one of these teams can run the football. Now, Oklahoma has ran the football better the last 2 games, but they haven't been consistent at running the football. So I wanted to make that a point too. Right. But ultimately, if I had to lean a certain way, I might probably lean towards Bama because I don't think OU is going to be able to score enough points. Now, if Mateer has continued to get healthy, I've seen that every game he's come back since his injury, he seems to be getting a little bit better. Yeah. But if he's not close to 100%, I don't think they win because with him not being a huge component in the run game, I think that limits OU's offense. And I think Bama's front, just defense period, is just too good. Like he has to be the catalyst for them to be able to run the ball.
Well, I agree. I agree totally. You know what I'm saying? You said like with his legs. I think that's the thing. He has to affect the game with his legs. And
he hasn't been doing it the past 2 games because I'm assuming he don't want to get hit, fall on the hand, all that kind of stuff right there. And I just think, that particular part, lack of his game, is going to limit their offense. And I think they have to score at least 27 points to beat Bama. And I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
I think that's a good number because I think Bama is capable of putting up 27 plus. Like I say, again, I do think Oklahoma's going to get to Ty Simpson. But one thing I've been watching Ty is good at pre-snap. He good post-snap. He good at he good at avoiding pressure because while he ain't a true, I don't think maybe he came out of high school as a true dual threat, but in college he hasn't been that, but his legs still work really good. So he knows how to get the first down or get out of trouble. So this is going to be interesting because, again, I feel like with Brent Venables in that front seven, it's just they're going to get home or they're not. It's almost a feast or famine there. You know what I'm saying? They do give up explosive plays. You know what I'm saying?
That secondary coach don't want nowadays a Williams or Bernard getting loose. And I'm going to tell you what.
Or Horton or Brooks, the freshman.
If they don't get the tie, I was saying it on their shows. If they don't get the tie in 2.8 seconds, that's going to nullify all that pressure they sending. It's going to kill him. He get rid of the ball fast if he need to, and all that pressure you sending, he going to eat it up. And those guys that he got on the outside, if they catch the slant and hit a crease or something, it's over.
Right. And I think Stat mentioned, the last couple of weeks, OU's been running the ball better. But I'll tell you this from the Bama side of it, that defense has gotten incrementally better each week. It's still not the Bama standard we used to, but they're getting better and better. And one thing we've been saying all year, even when healthy, Mateer, he's known to put it in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, I just think this is I think when with Styles make fights, this is kind of a bad matchup for that OU defense, to be honest with you.
Hit it on the head. That's what I was telling them tonight. Styles made fight. This particular matchup, my bad, Stat. This particular matchup, it just don't look good for them. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, in my opinion, in this matchup, their defense is just as good, if not better than Oklahoma because they're more versatile. I don't think Oklahoma is as versatile in this matchup as Alabama's defense.
In this particular, I agree. Stat.
The other point I was going to make too is Bama does like to run a lot of quick hitters, whether it be those quick slants to the likes of Ryan Williams, the tunnel screens to Bernard, and I'm interested to see if they catch BV in one of his exotic blitzes. And you catch him in an exotic blitz with a tunnel screen or a quick slant with either one of those guys, it's a house call because the speed is just so different and they are nasty in the open field. And so that's why I just think Alabama's play calling too matches up very well with what BV wants to try to do defensively.
Right. So I think Oklahoma's calling card, I know in this particular matchup, isn't actually the defense. It's what Shawty said earlier. It's Mateer's legs.
Mm-hmm.
Mateer has to be in the range of 75 to 100. I don't know how 75 to 100. He has to contribute to that running game because if he less than 75,
14 carries.
Right. It's not, I'm telling you, if he less than that, I just don't see a way for them to outscore Bama in this particular matchup. This game comes on at 3:30 on ABC or ESPN. It's the, that midday game. At Bama, like I say,
those need to be design quarterback runs, not him just running. They, you know what I'm saying? They need to be design quarterback, right. 12, 14 carries.
Right. What's going on, Bruce? Appreciate you tapping in with us. Said Ty Simpson is going to carve Saturday. He's the best player on the field. He can make all the throws. He's smart. Yep.
I ain't gonna see the best player on the field, but I get where you're going with that. I don't see the best player on the field.
Listen, man, I think talent-wise, it probably is Ryan Williams. You know what I'm saying? Talent-wise. Production-wise, it's either Ty or is Jeremy Bernard. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy Bernard. That dude he's a total package. He's total package wide receiver, dog. Like, when you have guys that you can use as gadget guys, a la Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel still can make plays in the pass game, but he ain't like got the hands that you like. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got stick him. Like, he gonna catch the ball for the most part, but you ain't thinking he got that stick him. Like Jeremy Bernard got hands. He can be a gadget guy.
Receiver. He just like. This guy Bernard is just the epitome of the wide receiver position because most great wide receivers or DBs are the best athletes on the field, and they can play every position skill wise on the field.
And I think they can do. Oh my God, go ahead, Stat.
I was going to say something else to kind of watch for is OU has been very stingy when teams get inside the red zone against them, whether it's holding them to nothing or 3. I hope that Alabama has learned now that if they're going to run some gadgety stuff, it needs to be with Bernard and the Wildcat and not throwing a wide receiver screen to your left tackle.
I'm glad you said that. They don't need I don't feel like in this game, this defense is too talented to do that gimmicky stuff. Brent Venables will have them prepared. He's very known for having his defenses and teams watch film from 2, 3, 4, 10 years ago about people's tendencies, like being Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb. And so he's seen those gadget plays this year. So if they get too gadgety, which, some of that Bama fans we cool with, they ain't too fond of the gadgety stuff. They like, time for that to be over. So he started doing that kind of stuff. Then you can put yourself behind the sticks, and you definitely don't want to put yourself behind the sticks against this front seven because then they are able to use that pass rush and those great edges and that middle. Now, that's one thing I will say. They're different than Missouri, where Missouri's pass rush is always, for the most part, coming from the edge. Oklahoma's got one of the best edges in the game, but they got a stout middle that gets pressure on you too. In David Stone and Jackson, I think that, and one of the other guys, they get up the middle, and so that's what Alabama can't let happen consistently because then you push it, and then now the quarterback can't see the field. You see what I'm saying?
Is our Mason Thomas back this week?
I know he had an injury, but I haven't seen anything that says he's not playing.
Because it was a hamstring. Like, depending on if it's a hamstring strain, like that's usually 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Shorty?
31 minutes ago.
Depending on how severity of that, hell, it could be worse than that. Depending on how it just depends.
So, On3 released 31 minutes ago says R. Mason Thomas injury update. Alabama, Oklahoma revealed the status of key players on their Wednesday availability report. And here it is. Alabama, Caden Jones is out. Deshaun Jones is out.
I got questionable right now.
Questionable, my bad. Yeah, questionable. And Deshaun Jones probable. Dre Kirkpatrick is out. Latham is out.
Hamstring diagnosis will be questionable all the way up to the game time.
Got you. So if we go down and we find R. Mason Thomas, he is questionable.
Yeah, that because you won't release because it's a hamstring. Like every 10 minutes, it's different.
Oh, and then I just talked about defensive lineman Jaden Jackson. I don't know what his injury is, but he is also questionable. Now, that's if he's out and our Mason Thomas is out, that is a huge blow to that front seven. They got some depth, but that got those guys like Jaden Jackson he's one of their better ones. David Stone is playing, so that's good. But having two of your key guys out in that front seven depth,
playmaker.
Right, and I think just like when we played Mississippi State, the announcers kind of talked about it. Like one of the things, and this goes to Shorty's point about running into just more talent. We had more talent and more depth in Mississippi State, and I think here Oklahoma has leaned on that depth in that front seven, and then you take those two key players out. If they don't play, that hurts the depth a little bit. So,
and I think they're playing teams. I don't want to sound like I hate on Oklahoma because they play an SEC schedule too. So I have to give them credit for playing the schedule. But it's all about who you play and when you play them.
Right.
And I just think they've been fortunate enough to play into the game. We talked about Texas. They've been playing teams that were just very one-dimensional.
Yep.
And BV has been able to run a certain style of defense, which I think has kind of inflated their defensive stats, in my opinion, to be honest. But that's just my opinion.
That's fair.
So, but I think like tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Saturday when they play Alabama, I just think they're going to play a team that's not going to be, one-dimensional. Now, they can make Ty Simpson be one-dimensional, that'll be to their credit. Right. But I think Alabama is just too good from that. And that when you play teams like that, that shows the clinks and cracks in your armor.
Right, because Alabama, like Stat says, been used to playing without a run game. So we 9, 10, we week 12. You know what I'm saying? They already know they're not going to be able to run the ball. They're good. Now, I still think they need to, get to Jam Miller and Daniel Hill a couple of times, so especially Daniel Hill, man. You're talking about 6'1", 240, something like 245, something like that, light on his feet. I think he still need to get some touches to keep this defense honest and bring those safeties up a couple of times, because if they get them safeties peaking, Isaiah Horton is out there too, by the way, and Brooks, the freshman for Alabama. I just think that's a bad matchup for that secondary.
And then Daniel Hill's a weapon out of the backfield as well. I mean, you
those quick hitters you talked about.
Yeah, you catch them. You catch them. Maybe bring in a linebacker or something, and now the weak side guys got to get all the way over to the running back, and he's on a wheel route. Man, you got 240 running up the sideline free, and he's gonna catch it. He's got good hands for a running back, especially a running back of his size.
Yep. So it's gonna be interesting. Again, I think, like I say, both teams feeling good teams, but I think it's a 6.5 point. At least it started out as a 6.5 point spread. Bama's in Bama's favor. I think I'm taking the 6.5, Shawty. What you think?
I concur.
Stat.
Yeah, I'm taking Bama to cover.
Yeah. Okay. Last game on the slate, man. We talked about it last night. It's them Dogs taking on Texas under the lights in Sanford Stadium. Stat. You got to see some of the show last night, man. Shawty talked about it at nauseam. What is your thoughts on this game?
I think Georgia's the better team. Sanford Stadium, under the lights. It's just a bad matchup for Texas. And I know y'all talked about it on y'all show earlier in the year, and me and you talk about it all the time in the coaching world. Whether right or wrong, some teams just have mental blocks. Georgia currently has a mental block when it comes to Alabama that y'all can't beat them if your life depended on it. And so far, until proven otherwise, Steve Sarkisian and Texas has the mental block when it comes to Georgia. And I think when you have a mental block, you probably aren't the more talented team. You're going on the road at night. Like, that's just too much, too many roadblocks standing in your way. And I think Georgia's offense is a lot better than what a lot of people thought. I was really high on Gunner coming into the year, but yeah. I think that Georgia offense has been a lot better than what people were expecting. And look out, the O-line's getting healthier. Look out, the defense is starting to show some life. And it's weird because, this is a little bit different. We don't know if Georgia's going to get back in the for a chance to make it to Atlanta for the SEC championship. But what we do know is it feels like Georgia is hitting their stride at the right time. You don't want to play your best football in August. You don't want to play your best football right now, but you do want to play your best football starting a month from now for the next month. And I feel like Georgia's just ticking it up week after week. You see small improvements in the major areas that you need to see them.
We did talk about it, shortly, but one thing we didn't really hit on, other than a score prediction, like, do you think Vegas got the spread right in this game? The 6.5 favorite for Georgia.
I'm gonna say it's pretty accurate, because if that's the case, they truly got it as a 3.5 point game, 3-point game.
Right.
So that's how they really,
because you get the 3 for home team.
Right. So I mean, I wouldn't, I think that's about accurate. Texas has struggled on the road. Their 2 losses this year have been on the road. I think Stat Guy hit on a lot of points. We are obviously great on the road. Not great, but great at home. Mm-hmm. We've only had 1 loss to Alabama, but I just go back and just kind of be truthful with myself. If you mentioned, I thought we would lose. I thought we would beat Alabama this year and lose to Texas. I was saying that in the beginning of the year, but as the season has progressed, honestly, I like our chances at home. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Coach. I see it probably being a tough game, because what we like to do, especially recently, which is run the ball. Texas is number 3 against the run. Mm-hmm. So again, something has to give. Like, we're gonna either be able to run it or can't. You know what I'm saying? But what I do like, and what I have been saying is, if Texas want to stack the box and try to stop the run, Gunnar Stockton will take those one-on-one opportunities. I don't care who it is. He throwing whoever got one-on-one, he throwing it to you. And he's going to give you an opportunity to get that flag, get the first down, or move the chain. So I do like our chances with that. And that's why I ultimately think we will beat them, because I think we would win the game, is because I think we'll be able to beat them on those one-on-one opportunities and generate big plays.
Right. I think we're going to make a few more plays than Texas. Like I say, they have athletes out there at wide receiver as well. While we have given up some plays, I know that's what the fans remember. We are the best in the SEC at minimizing explosive plays. 13th in the nation that leads the SEC. So we make you earn it. And I'm not saying that Texas can't earn it on a couple of drives. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, but I think we're just going to make a few more plays, because I totally agree. Like, Gunnar doesn't care who's one-on-one. You give him a one-on-one, he's going to trust his receiver. And he has definitely outplayed what I thought he was going to do this year. I always thought he was a good quarterback. I just didn't know if he fit our system. But shout out to Bobo for.
I got to get out of here. I got to get out here to my show. I'm calling on at 9. I got to get out.
All right. We appreciate you, Shawty. Hey, y'all jump on after this. Y'all jump on Just My Damn Opinion with Shawty and AP. I got Bruce Taylor says Sanford Stadium will make Texas miserable. The Dogs are peaking at the right time. This team is 1 missed block, drop pass for I'm away from being undefeated. We should have beat Bama that night. We did play pretty good. They got our number. That's how it is. Gunnar Stockton is the real deal. Trojan fight. What's up, Trojan fight? Trojan fight. Let me tell you this. You've been missing in action the last couple of weeks from giving us a comment or two on Respect the Hedges, and the guys was wondering where you was, man. Zachariah Branch up to about 54 catches or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Using them how we told you we was going to use them. Appreciate you getting in, though, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, shout out to the USC Trojans helping me on my underdog fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Getting that dough. Yeah.
And being Trojan Fight, be sure to tune in at 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night to watch them Lady Gamecocks give you the beatdown out there, because we ain't, man. We the real SC. I'll just leave it at that. But to the point of Bruce's comment about Sanford Stadium, I got a stat for you to keep in mind for this game. Here's my prediction. The dog pound and that Georgia crowd is going to cause at least 6 false starts Saturday night.
Whoa. 6 false starts. I'll take it, dog. I'll take it.
Put me in the books, and when it happens,
it
happens, I'll be sure to collect my flowers Tuesday at Respect the Hedges. Please and thank you.
Right. He been okay. Hey, top 10 in yards after the catch, man. Hey, this is all I'm gonna say. But hey, appreciate you, Trojan Fight. Trojan Fight said he been on the road getting the games. Did you go to the Michigan game, Trojan Fight? I know that was earlier in the season, but that was a big team. What about the Notre Dame game? Those big games. Hey, man, you got money, you going to all them games. South Carolina probably will win. They get smoked if Juju wasn't hurt, though.
But if Juju ain't gonna be hurt, then my girl Chloe ain't hurt either, and then we still got you. It'd be like that, dog.
Hey, Chuck and Buckets will be breaking that game down tomorrow at 9 p.m. here on the Fanatic Sports Network. The Chuck and Bucket boys will be back, man, talking South Carolina taking on the Southern California Trojan, who's the real USC. Hey, man, that's about he says he's been to every game this year. Oh, shoot. Dog, boy. Hey, Trojan Fight, I need a loan, man, because you going to all these USC games, boy, you got that dough. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, it ain't like y'all going to these small stadiums, you know what I'm saying? I know Michigan came to y'all, that was different, but hey, man, you doing a lot of traveling, dog. What's up? Help out the channel. Trojan Fight, man, cool dude, man. Awesome. That is, man, getting to go to all the games, that is, listen, you right, that travel is no joke. And people always like say, Isaiah, Coach I, why you don't go to the games? Like, first off, I love college football. So yes, are the dogs on the big screen when they play? Yes. But I also got 2 side screens that I catch the other games on. You know what I'm saying? I like to go tailgate, chop it up with the fellas, which we will be in Athens on Saturday, you know, Morris Hall tailgate. Shout out to the Bourbon Social Club, you know what I'm saying, with the fellas. But I will be leaving a couple hours prior to kickoff so I can go somewhere and watch more like I have Georgia on the big screen. And it will have something else on the small screen, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's like Trojan Fight said, listen, man, traveling and following the team, I don't care if it's just you. That is a monster right there. I don't care if you're driving, flying, riding a charter bus. Thing takes some dough. And time. That's right. Time.
Especially for Trojan Fight, because Southern Cal is playing all the Big Ten schools now. So it's right. Like, it's. I think they go home away. So it's like every other weekend you heading back out to the 1,500 miles away.
Bro, he's like, right. Listen, man, I ain't the driver I used to be, and you know, I am know if I'm trying to pay for that many tickets. So shout out to Trojan Fight, man. Hope you got some good photos and videos for your personal keepsake, man, because those are memories you definitely don't want to lose. So we appreciate everybody jumping in, man. That's been the show. We got about 2 minutes, and then we're gonna jump over and get in them comments on Just My Damn Opinion with Shawty and AP and Cool Cal. They talk sports, they talk, you know, current events, they talk music, they talk it all, and then they do a stock watch for college football. Who stock you buying, who stock you selling, over on Just My Damn Opinion over with Shawty and the crew. So, Stat, what you got for them before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man. Hey, check in with me tomorrow night. Pulling the double header, starting off at 8 p.m. with the Stat Line with Jeff the Stat Guy. We're gonna deep dive this Texas A&M game. I'm gonna somehow figure out how we're gonna win this thing, and I'll speak it into existence. And then for the grand finale at 9 p.m., the Chuck and Bucket boys are back, and we're gonna break down the Clemson game, what we liked, what we didn't like, and believe me, there was a not to like in a 29-point win. And then we're going to deep dive that Southern Cal game, and we getting busy with it. Basketball is here.
That's right. E-Rob getting in. Appreciate you getting in, E-Rob. Hey, don't forget, E-Rob, in a couple of minutes here, in a minute, Shawty, we jumping over and getting in the comments on Shawty's Just My Damn Opinion. That's right, man. Hey, Thursdays have become the Gamecock takeover. Somehow Stat done finagled me into having more Gamecock content on the channel than Georgia content. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Basketball season is here, and I love some good basketball, and the Lady Gamecocks definitely do that. So, hey, appreciate everybody getting in on Facebook, on YouTube. If you still want some more some more content, y'all make sure y'all go to Just My Damn Opinion and check out my guy Shawty Parker, one of my RTH crew brethren, and get the barbershop talk. For my guy Stat Guy, I'm Coach I, and Shawty Parker, who was on with us earlier today, man. That's been the SEC Snap Count. We up out of here.
Peace.